Hello and welcome to October 17 edition of Wisdom for Today. I'm Pastor REVMADANIEL, coming to you from Buckinghamshire in the United Kingdom. This month I want to quickly go over how you can be sure that it is God that is speaking to you, especially when you've heard a voice. How can you be sure it is God that is speaking to you? Because this hearing God issue has caused a lot of division in the body of Christ because of people who did all sorts of evil things and said they had God. So you have people doing evil things and they said, oh, God told me to do this. Well, today, hopefully, very quickly, going through the scriptures, I want to be able to show you how you can be sure it is God. Number one, when you've heard a voice, you have to wait. A lot of people want to rush. Wait. Just like the apostles did in the book of Acts chapter 13. When God spoke to them, they reconfirmed. They were sure it was from God. And then they carried it out. It's also very important to know that 1 John chapter 4 verse 1 and 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, test all spirits, but hold on to that which is good, which means there are different kinds of spirits. So you have to test the word you have heard to be sure that it's from God. So the first thing you have to do is wait. Pray to God and say, God, is that you speaking to me? And in the peace that will follow you, you will know whether it's God or not. If you do not have your peace about it, don't do it just yet. Number two, from book of Psalms 138 verse 2, it says that God has elevated his word above all of his names. If it does not line up with the scriptures, it is not from God. In fact, 2 Timothy 3:16 makes it clear that all scriptures are written for us, to correct us, to instruct us, to divide the flesh and the soul, to lead us, to show us all the things that we need to do, to show us examples of things that has happened. If it does not line up with the word of God, it is not God. God will not ask you to go and marry another person's wife. God will not ask you to go and beat somebody else up. God will not ask you to go and kill somebody. That's not from God. God will not ask you to steal from other people. That is not from God. I know it sounds basic, but you'll be amazed how the body of Christ is still very confused about this. Especially with many preachers saying God said. Once people say God said, people don't know what to say to them anymore. They just shut people up. Oh, God told me to do it. How do you come back from that? Anyway, number three, is it wise? Ecclesiastes 7:19 and Matthew 10:16 says that we must be wise in our conduct. So this word you are hearing, is it wise for your situation? If it is not, most likely, maybe it's not from God. Number four, does it follow your character? God says we should raise our children according to their bent. So God will not send us on anything that is against our bent. So is it something that is close to who you are as a person, or something that could be an extension of who you are as a person? Is it along the way your character is? And finally, Proverbs 15:22 says, in the multitude of counsel, we'll find wisdom. You'll get the answer when you ask people their opinions. At least there must be one or two people you trust that you can ask their opinions about any matter. It does not mean that what they say will be the final say, but it will give you a guide as to what it is that you need to do. So with all these 5 things I've said, I hope you'll be able to know when to be sure that it is God that is speaking. Now, sometimes a lot of people try to hear God and they say, I can't hear God. There could be so many reasons for this. One, when you have too much noise in your life, there's just too much activity going on. Where are you going to hear God from? Secondly, maybe because God has told you, has given you a specific instruction in the past that you've not carried out. So you have to make sure you settle down before you're waiting for fresh instructions. And it could just be that sometimes people just are really, really determined to go along the way of whatever it is their mind is telling them to do. So, but if you really want to hear God, you need to find a place of solitude where you can hear him, just like Jesus did. Jesus often went on to a mountain. Jesus often went on to, a garden, somewhere separate to hear God. And all of us, we need to do this at one point or the other. God still speaks. God still wants to direct us. God still wants to show us what to do. I've got it wrong a few times before, maybe because, I very much wanted what I was thinking to be from God, or maybe because God told me to do it in a certain way, but I did it in my own way. But all of the best things that's happened to me in my life are things that God showed me or instructed me or directed me. And I believe it will be the same for you too if you learn to listen out to his voice. May God bless you in this month of October. May you have listening ears to him. May you be able to hear him even more so that your life and your purposes may be established to be a blessing to the rest of us. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. God bless you. Bye for now.